Hello and welcome to Fiona's Creative Canvas. I'm Fiona and today I have some Christmas ornaments out and I'm going to be pouring over these with resin. Now I haven't done this before, so some of the things I think will be important to whether these turn out well or not is these are plastic. So I am sanding the surface, taking the lid off and just giving the surface a quick sand with 120 grit sandpaper, just so that the resin has something to grab onto. And then I'm just going to wet a piece of paper towel and just wipe the dust off. And place it on a pop stick. Now these are stuck into some styrofoam covered with some baking paper. I'm quite excited to see how these turn out. I couldn't decide on my colour palette, so I think this year I'm going to be going with some red baubles, but I do love a blue and gold colour palette, so I'm going to do both. So I've got some colours out here and I will list them for you, but I'm going to make up about 350 mils, I think, to cover 3. If I've got a bit left over, I've got a coaster here I can cover. And I'm going to be using the tabletop epoxy by Let's Resin. Now this one has a short working time of 25 minutes and it's also got a very high viscosity, so it's quite thick, and I want it thick because I don't want it to run down too fast because it'll just run off and I'll have nothing left. So I'm going to use up my whole 25 minutes because the thicker it gets, the better it's going to stay on. So I'm going to mix that up with my colours. I'll have the mask on, so I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing now. I'll be doing 2 red ones, one a pour out of a cup, so they're mixed in a cup, and do a spiral, and then these 2 I think I'm gonna have drips going down straight. You'll see. Okay, it took me quite a while to mix all of my colours up, but they're looking very pretty and I've got 2 minutes left basically, but I'm okay with that because I want it to thicken up a bit. I still feel quite runny. I might start with this one here and I'm going to drizzle my colours on. Let's see how this goes first. Put a bit of the white on. I'm wondering whether I should rub the whole thing down. I think I will. Let's get some of the glitter on. Alright, I'm going to leave that for a minute and see how it runs down. And I'm going to try my spiral. Alright, so I haven't got much in there. I might just rub it down a bit. Alright. Cool. The white's really broken up here. This one's sort of going pinky because of the white. I think I'm liking this method for this one, for the blue one. Alright, I'm going to put some blue on this one. We're at the 31-minute mark. I'll rub this one down. I've still got some left and it's thickening up still. Alright, let's get some other colours on here. It's quite unusual. Get some of that gold on and some of that glitter. It's getting thicker now, 35 minutes in. This colour's beautiful, this one. And the glitter. You put some of the glitter on this one. You got the rest of this. It's getting quite tacky now. I'm going to use the clear on this one. And we're at the 42-minute mark now. And it's getting quite thick. Very, very thick now. We're at 47 minutes. Remember, this is a 25-minute working time. That's really not running down. So thick now. Lots of white on this one because I've got lots of white and it's still a reasonable consistency. The rest of it, we'll find out what the best consistency is here. $55. A little bit of copper. Oh, I was just thinking that would be nice to go down. A little bit of glitter. All right, let's let them sit. I hope it doesn't run off too much. We're at 1 hour exactly. So I've just come back to check these, feeling the resin that's on the ground. It's dry enough to touch, but I'm just cutting off the resin off the end because I thought about it earlier thinking that it was going to be a problem. And this one I think is a bit stark. can see. It's a bit of a problem. This is probably my favourite one, but we'll have a good look at it once it's dry properly. But because it's still a little soft, I can cut it like this. Otherwise, what I probably could do, if you get into a situation where it's dry, you can heat it up with your heat gun and that will soften it a little bit. Pity about that bit. Okay, here is the final result, and we have some beautiful sparkling resin ornaments. And I did have to wait the full hour to get these right. This one here, you can see that it didn't quite cover at the top, but I do want to show you what I was doing with the scissors. So as it runs down, it drips and it gets hard and ends up with these big droplets on the bottom, which meant it was going to be hard to put this piece on. So I just trimmed the top so that it was nice and flat on the top while it was still soft, but I could pick it up because it was cured enough to pick up. This one here, it's got some beautiful sparkle through it, and this one covered very well at the top. But again, with these you can just place them on the side that you like the most. And then this blue one is gorgeous. I just love the bold colours in this. And the glitter is very, I'll just make sure I can show you the glitter, very sparkly, which I wasn't getting from my paint pouring ones. And I'm just a bit there as well, so I need to coat them properly. I don't think I used quite enough resin when I was coating them to get the to get it moving. And then I've got the two coasters here. They a little bit, because the resin was hardening a bit, they're a little bit lumpy on the sides, but other than that they're all right for a bit of leftover work. Yeah, the paint pouring ones that I did worked very well as well, which I then sprayed with a clear acrylic. I feel like maybe the best of both worlds would be to do the paint pouring and then to follow that up with some resin to give it that beautiful gloss, and maybe add a bit of glitter in some spots in the resin, and that would probably work out the best. So I might try that next year, but I think that's about it for me for ornaments this year. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's it for this one, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye.